I need you all to make me famous.
Okay, let's go.
Holy shit. So we have a crash out episode today. So I was reluctantly in my car today because I had a nail appointment this morning. And typically when I have to do my double appointments, I book them back to back. But for whatever reason, even though like I schedule my nail appointments like months ahead of time, it's actually borderline insane how far like I'm booked into August at this point because that's how popular my girl is. But I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts, and it's like an older episode because I'm like kind of like listening to old ones. I just recently started listening to this podcast. So I was like, I'm listening to like the very first ones and then also like more recent ones. And they were talking about, also, P.S., it's Giggly Squad. So shout out Paige and Hannah, which I obviously am listening to Giggly Squad because I'm a reality TV junkie, which you're going to start to see a lot of these things that we crash out about are brought into my my sphere, my universe, because I watch a lot of reality TV. And that's like typically the only news I choose to get is like reality TV news. I try to stay away from like normal news. Don't mind me. Just taking my morning medication here at 1:42 p.m. It's fine. So like my day is all screwed up, but they were talking about on this episode, and it's probably like an older episode because I think the documentary that they were talking about has been out for a while because I think I actually started watching it because when I went into my Netflix and my nail appointment to start watching it, it was like resume. So I started watching it at some point, and then, because I have the attention span of a squirrel when it comes to television, wasn't really like into it. But then after getting like this synopsis on Giggly Squad, hopefully I don't get sued for using their name on my podcast. Um, Please don't sue me, Hannah and Paige. I was like, okay, I need to watch this documentary because it is April 19th, 2026, and this week in horrifying things in a timeline that I don't even want to be a part of, there was this huge news story that broke about this online platform where men were, I haven't done a deep dive into this, but like men are telling other men, giving tips to other men on like how to like drug and rape like your significant other. And it has like 62 million views. So another horrifying thing that I didn't ask to be a part of. So the documentary is called Into the Manosphere. And it's basically this, I think is British documentarian who is, he has a couple of different like, I don't know if they consider themselves influencers, but like you are, male influencers have like all these different like ideologies that is really kind of like being pumped out, infiltrated into like the scope of the world and like how that is affecting like how like Gen Z is then like determining their relationships like with women and their partners. So this also kind of ties into the episode of like the male loneliness epidemic, honestly, which I recorded earlier. So I'm watching this documentary while I'm at my nail appointment because I'm like always headphones in, like it's always just trying to like absorb content or catch up on shows or whatever it is, catch up on the 7,000 TikToks that my best friend has sent me. You know, we just send TikToks back and forth like you, me. Like it's our love language. So I'm sitting in the nail chair and watching this, and my nail lady actually was like, "Are you okay?" Because I must have had like the most disgusted look on my face. Like I know I did. I could feel myself, like I had that look on my face, and she kept telling me to relax. Like my body was actually having an entire physical reaction to these men that this documentarian is interviewing because they're fucking disgusting and we need to fucking crash out about it. One of the voice notes that I took while I was in my nail appointment was that I don't even remember his name. It doesn't matter. But one of the people that he was interviewing said that like the whole mantra of like what he's teaching these young men, and like mind you, and this could totally have been like for the camera, for the clout, like 100%. Like I understand like in this day and age, like you have to deal with the fact that you're talking about like the possibility of AI altering things, and then like you also have to talk about the possibility of like the factor in everything that it's edited. Like it's everything is edited. Reality TV is edited. The news is like nothing we're receiving unless we're seeing it with our own eyes. And then there's even like this perception afterwards of like talking with someone about it and then like second guessing yourself when you've seen it with your own eyes. Everything's edited. It's like what is real? What is reality? Does reality even exist anymore? So what the whole scope of one of these influencers, like their selling point, and they have like these just regular normal people that are like showing up with them in the documentary as it's being filmed, just like singing their praises, talking about like how they've changed their life and blah 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 blah, is that men are born with no value, and women are born with value. And the reason being is that women are born with beauty and attributes that can gain them things. And so this particular individual was in Miami. So and it's important to point that out because he's talking about things that are very Miami-esque. He's like, you know, I'm not going to get invited to go on a boat. I'm not going to get invited to go to a party unless I have added some value. Like I have to create value for myself as a man, whereas a woman is going to get invited to do those things because she's born with value. And like the thought that I had while I'm listening to this, because like it's not wrong. What he's saying isn't wrong. Um, as an attractive female, shit, I mean, you don't even necessarily have to be attractive. You could literally just have the most banging body and be not attractive, or you could be absolutely gorgeous and have the worst personality in the entire world. And this is not a knock on women, um, but you are going to get like those different opportunities that like men are not. But also like that's because of the patriarchal fucking entire construct that men created. Like you created this construct, and now there's an entire group of like male influencers, which by the way are like they have these live streams and they have all of these things that they're like in a social media presence about, but they're also selling shit on the side. And like I'm sure you already know, but like most of them are crypto bros. Like it it writes itself. Um, but they're they're online selling shit to people on the basis of the fact that they have to add value because they're born with no value because of a construct that maybe they didn't create, but they're certainly not doing anything to dismantle it. So that particular individual on this documentary, I don't know, I guess if you had to rank them as far as like most vile to least vile, but still vile, even though you're the least vile, I would say he's the least vile. Um, and then he was like, this particular one was talking about how he was in a one-sided monogamous relationship, which basically means like he does whatever the fuck he wants, but then like he has like the mother of his two daughters, by the way, daughters, because the universe is always going to give you a daughter. If this is the type of man that you are, the universe is always going to give you a daughter. Won't she do it every motherfucking time? Um, the mother of his children practices monogamy, but he doesn't. Um, okay. The other one of the other ones that he was interviewing is he was like on the run. Like I don't remember where he was. I think he was in Ibiza at one point because he was like I'm in Ibiza and blah, 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 and like so he's talking about he's like obsessed with degrading OnlyFans content creators, but then is like consistently out live streaming, posting content with OnlyFans content creators, like the irony of it all. And he's like low key, like the obsession with degrading, like, and judging OnlyFans content creators is alarming at best. So you have, and then there's one other guy, which it got a little bit later into my nail appointment, and I was also actively working a plan with my nail lady who is from Venezuela on when we were going to move to Venezuela and get the fuck out of the United States. So I did get a little bit distracted. He actually like brings different females onto his podcast and then just like degrades them on air, like name three countries for me, or like there was one segment where he was asking one of the girls to answer all these different questions about like what her ideal like attributes for a partner are. So it was like, how tall is he? What race is he? Like, how much money does he make a year? And he like plugs it into some bro rhythm that then spits back like how many actual men in the United States like fit the attributes of those different questions that he was asking her. But like also on the flip side, can we just talk about like what like can we put it into a cis rhythm where he answers the same type of questions and then we can see like how many females meet those attributes? Because I would be really interested to see what the transverse is on that one. Like really interested. The bigger over encompassing thing and the theme that's like because like this is all entertainment, but like I think what the documentarian was trying to really push forward with this documentary, which everything went south because, you know, as soon as these three influencers started to like feel threatened or feel like this could have like a negative impact like on their image and their label and things like that, um deflect, just like anything but therapy, guys, right? Anything but therapy. The major over encompassing thing that is highly problematic outside of the fact that like all of this behavior is problematic is that these individuals are like on these platforms where you have like young men who are ingesting this content, and there's like an entire like movement. It's called like the red pill movement, which I just learned about today. In full disclosure, like I've never actually watched The Matrix, but like I understand like the red pill, blue pill theory. Um, but like there's a whole generation of men. Well, they're kids, they're teenagers at this point, but who will become men, who will be unfortunately still in charge of the country because God forbid a woman that are ingesting this information, like ingesting it as though it's the truth. And it's like very in line with what you see like in the political forefront as well, is like it doesn't matter if it's true or not because it's all that we're taking in, it's true. And those teenagers are going to be entering into a part of their life where they're going to be looking for a significant other and they're going to be looking to excel in their careers and they're going to be looking to be the leaders and they're going to be looking to be the fathers. And like that's fucking horrifying because this is all that it's all they've seen, it's all that they know, and they hold it to be the truth even though it's complete and utter fucking bullshit. um So I think the long and short of today's crash out is that if you think there's a male fucking loneliness epidemic now in 2026, these fucking kids that are watching all this shit, like the women are about to just find another fucking planet and go move there. There's not going to be any men because you guys just keep showing up every fucking day and showing us like, oh my God, you guys are fucking pieces of shit. And we would definitely be more at peace if we could just exist somewhere where you don't. That's it for today.